Smackovitz. These scammers are relentless. Uber, this is unacceptable. You have known about this scam going on for years now. I know drivers have been reporting on this, and sad to say, many keep falling for it because drivers come and go, and Uber does nothing to warn the drivers or to stop this from happening. If you don't know yet what I'm talking about, it's passengers requesting rides and posing as Uber support. And they will sit there and try to say everything possible to you to get your information so they can steal your earnings. Drivers, please do not fall for it. And before we get more into this video, I want to remind you always to check the description below for extra information and tips. If you enjoy these videos and find them helpful, make sure you give them a thumbs up as it helps me out greatly. Plus, it helps other people see these videos so that nobody else gets scammed. I also want to remind everybody to check out this new company called Kover, which is providing extra protection and perks for drivers and gig workers out there. It doesn't matter if you're Instacart, DoorDash, Grubhub, Shipped, Uber Eats, all the gigs out there. You definitely need to check this out. They have things like paid time off, paid sick leave. If you have to go to the hospital or something like that, they will cover your earnings up for 2 weeks, up to 80%. If you get into an accident or anything like that, they will help cover your earnings and while your car is getting repaired for 2 weeks, up to 80%. If you get deactivated at all, they will send a letter on your behalf to potentially get you reactivated. So that way you're not just hoping that whatever magical investigation goes on, that they're going to fix and, everything's going to be all right. Because we already know 9 times out of 10, that ain't going to happen. And they have plans as cheap as $7 a month. And if you want to get your first month for free, use my link in the description below. No contracts, none of that to sign. If you don't like it after your first 30 days, cancel it. Voila, go about your business. But I just want to give you that information because it has been helping a lot of drivers out there. And now let's get into the video. I'm going to be showing you guys firsthand account of someone that is in one of my Facebook groups that she had this happen to her. And thankfully, she knew about this. Otherwise, if she didn't already hear about this at all, she'd have been screwed and fell for it. And I hate to say it, a lot of people are falling for it. And especially if you're already in the middle of a trip with somebody and you get the request and it looks, anything at all, something like this. You know it's going to be suspect. Especially when as soon as you do accept the request, all of a sudden you get a message in your app and then it says this. Like, come on now. Who would really think that Uber support would message you and then tell you to call the passenger? Why would you be calling the passenger to talk to Uber support? I mean, I don't want to say, common sense isn't that common anymore, but we all know it pretty much isn't. Okay, there's a sucker born every minute, and a lot of people keep falling for it, and they have to be falling for it. Otherwise, these scammers would stop trying this damn thing. Okay, they're just relentless out there, and they know if they keep doing it, that eventually someone's going to fall for it. When Uber, Lyft, they could simply end that by making passengers provide real names, photo IDs, the same thing that we have, because we all know as soon as you get a request and you go to pull up anywhere, what do we have to determine that it's the actual rider? Nothing but whatever name that has been put in there. And a lot of times, you're getting trips from third-party riders where somebody else had ordered the ride for them, and you're hoping that that's the person. And that's why I always tell you guys, keep those damn doors locked. Roll down the window just enough to verify if this is the actual correct passenger, because once they get into your car, it's a whole different ball game, people. It really, truly is, and you don't want to have the headache of dealing with that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and listen to what happened to this lady. And thankfully, she knew about this and wasn't their next victim.
Hey, Uber family, I will not be on here long letting you know what happened today. OMG. So listen. I'm going to try to make this less than 2 minutes. Driving a customer. We were having a great time. Great conversation. Phone call comes through. I never answer the calls. So I decline the call. Call comes through again. So usually, if a call comes through twice, you're like, maybe it's important. So I answer it because the passenger's still in the car. And they say, oh, this is Uber support. We had a complaint that you didn't have on a mask. So the passenger's like, oh, she has her mask on. She's just lovely. Okay, great. Oh, you have somebody in the car? How long until you're finished that ride? And I said, about a minute. Oh, we're going to call you back. Okay. So they call me back. Now, in the meantime, I had gotten another request, which would have been a 20-minute ride. So they say, oh, well, don't pick up that person. Cancel that ride, and we'll refund you all the money. Red flag number 1. We'll refund you. How are you going to refund me? You don't even know what it was going to be. Okay. So I pull over, and they say, how many rides did you have this week? And I answered. That's when my spidey senses started tingling. Sorry, this live is not going to be less than 2 minutes. But so I answered, and I said, I only drove twice this week, so not a whole bunch. Not, I didn't say a money amount. But that was the next question. How much money did you make this week? I said, you should have that information. And they were like, excuse me? Like they were all professional. I said, you should have that information. Well, we need that because we want to give you a $150 bonus. That's where I had seen different posts in this group where that's what they say. They want to give you money. Uber ain't giving out no $150 bonuses without doing all those rides. The Quest. So I said, no, thank you. I don't care for the $150. Next thing I know, I'm listening to silence because they have hung up on me. But now the story gets a little more interesting because I did pick up somebody else, not for 20 minutes, but nonetheless. And I'm finished now. I'm home. You can tell I'm in the house. I'm not driving. So I go to cash out when I get home, and they say, oh, something went wrong. Then I get a text from Uber that says, did you just try to cash out? I was like, yes. Okay, we've reinstated your card. Okay, great. I go to do it again, and it goes right into my bank account. No muss, no fuss. I am going to call Uber, though, and let them know what happened. I mean, I don't know how they can make people aware, their drivers aware that, one, maybe they will never call. If you have a complaint, they will always just send you an email and maybe just deactivate your account immediately or something. But they won't call if somebody's complained. And so if somebody calls you and says, we're Uber support, we had a complaint, hang up on them. Just hang up on them. Don't worry about whether, because they should actually be able to see if you're in the middle of a ride. And they should see how long that ride is taking. But anyway, don't get scammed. If it doesn't sound right, it probably isn't. And don't be greedy. If I really thought that they were going to give me $150, I might have taken that. And I can only imagine that they tried to call in on my account and say that they had a new card number or some foolishness. But anyway, don't be greedy. Don't get scammed. Happy holidays.
See that, guys? You see that? That's what I'm talking about. Thankfully, she had already heard about this and seen this in my group, so she was already pre-warned about any kind of crap that could potentially happen to her, and she was smart enough not to fall for it, which, thankfully, someone actually listened, so that way they could save themselves from a big headache down the road. And as long as this continues to happen, I'm going to continue to report on it to warn drivers out there so that way nobody else gets scammed out of their hard-earned money. But all right, guys, be safe. Use your common sense. If it doesn't sound right, it probably isn't. And Uber and Lyft will never just call you up to give you some random bonus. Well, until next time, guys, Uber on or don't. Peace out, everybody.